Welcome to my Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition walkthrough. As tradition for my Xenoblade walkthroughs, I want to give the title screen music some room to show off because it's really good. What a way to start the game already. This game is very different from the other games in the series. How much you get out of the game's story depends on how much side content you decide to do, because it's actually not just about the main conflict. It's about the entirety of humanity struggling to survive. I hope you enjoy this game as much as I did when it originally released on Wii U, especially now that there's so many great quality of life improvements. So the way this guide is going to be tackled is that there's going to be a main story walkthrough that covers all the necessary stuff to learn how to play the game and beat it, and several side guides covering other elements. I'll dive into the specifics of that in a later video. This will be post-commentary so I can get the best possible gameplay needed for walkthrough footage as well. I went ahead and started the game, so let's see what kind of story we're getting into.
July 2054 AD. The Earth was caught in a great battle between unknown alien forces. Their weapons were terrifying and powerful beyond human reckoning. Our planet was overwhelmed, its surface reduced to ash and rubble in the blink of an eye. The Coalition government knew the war was coming. In response, they prepared the Earth-Life Colonization Project, Project Exodus. Interstellar arcs were launched all across the planet, from every major city on Earth. Bravely, we leapt from our cradle, our home for the last 4.5 billion years. But most of the arcs never even made it out of the atmosphere. Only a small handful managed to escape. Among them was our ship, the White Whale. After leaving Earth behind, we spent 2 years wandering in space, searching. We thought of ourselves as the lucky ones, the pioneers who would settle a new world. But our past caught up with us, literally. The alien blitz was unrelenting. If not for the efforts of a lone hero, we would never have survived. Our ship took heavy damage. We lost control. With our flight systems down, the White Whale was pulled into the gravitational field of a nearby planet, its hull shattering and breaking to pieces as we plummeted toward the surface. Since then, 2 months have passed.
Well, that was an exciting intro. We're starting right with creating our own character, very much unlike the other games. There's a lot of options from physical looks, hairstyles, and even the voice, with some cameo voice actors from previous games. Mostly Adam Howden and Karina Reeves. In this version, you can even create near duplicates of legacy Xenoblade characters, including Pyra, Mithra, Shulk, Malos, Nia, Mio, Mikhail, Tyon, and Fiora. If you wish, you can also save up to 5 customs. Especially useful now, considering this version's multiple save files. I already saved a few customs before starting recording, so I'm going to be using one of them. I'm just showing off a bit more here. Yeah. So, for this particular character, I tried my best at recreating Rue Luca from Gundam ZZ. I think that's how you pronounce her name. There's only so much you can do with the hairstyles and no way to change faces and more minute details. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and start with her.
Attention, external access confirmed. Disengaging stasis in 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing hatch. Please stand clear.
Hey there. Looks like you're all in one piece. Careful. Just take it nice and slow, okay? Your senses will need time to reactivate. Your pod is the only one around that landed intact. Good thing I found you. My name's Elma. You want to tell me yours? You don't even remember your own name? It must be the stasis hangover. That's not good. Just try and focus, all right?
I can't help it. I'm gonna use my dumb Doki Doki Literature Club name. Just, come on, get that dash in there. Baekun. Yes, Baekun. No, get rid of that extra N. I just really liked that name.
Good, there we go. What else you remember? It'll come. In the meantime, I'll get you up to speed here as best I can. How are your limbs? Can you move?
So there's lots of dialogue choices that lead to different conversations and even different outcomes, but don't worry about these ones right now. I'll show off different dialogue at the end of the video, though.
We'll take it easy while you shake the stasis out of your system. One step at a time, all right? First things first, you'll be needing a weapon. There you go. All right, let's get going.
Prologue, Awakening. The first of many tutorial tips, thankfully improved from the original game as it didn't explain a lot of finer details. Right now it's just telling you that these diamond markers point you in the right direction to progress the story or quest. And, yeah, just a very basic control thing. Sprint, moving around, jumping with ZR. ZR is a very weird button, but you'll get used to it. And, yeah, just follow the markers.
Most of the white whale's life pods didn't survive the crash, like this one. You're one of the lucky few. Right. You don't even remember the white whale, do you? You know, the L002? The ship we escaped Earth on? You remember Earth, right? Planet Earth. Your homeworld. Or rather, it used to be anyway. Unfortunately, it was caught in a battle between two alien forces. And destroyed. Ring any bells? Don't feel bad. It's one memory I'd like to forget. I know. It's been following me for a while now. I didn't want to alarm you, but we're going to need to defend ourselves. You up to the task?
Surprise! First enemy of the game, and I'm introducing ultra-wide display for the majority of this walkthrough. I'll get into what all of this means later, but you'll only see this for story and quest-exclusive enemies. Anyway, the controls for targeting and then drawing out your weapon are pressing R to target an enemy and then A to draw your weapon. The combat works through a sort of an action system of auto-attacks and arts that rewards positioning and attack timing. Simply use the directional pad to select your arts, and then press A. Once an art is used, it cannot be used again until its cooldown has finished, under normal circumstances. There's a lot of information on screen right now, but I will go over them gradually. Very easy battle.
You're not half bad. There's plenty of work back in the city for someone who knows how to handle a weapon, you know.
If this is work, count me in.
Then you're interested. In that case, I might have just the job for you. But anyway, we can talk more details later. For now, let's keep moving.
Alright, another thing. You usually get a battle spoils screen after defeating an enemy. Weapons are a typical equipment drop from enemies, but you can get more if you do something special. I'll get into that later. And this, you might have seen this pop up in the battle, it's Soul Voices. This is when members of your party call out commands or requests during battle. When this pops up, select and use an art of the same color as the Soul Voice, assuming it's not on cooldown, to initiate bonuses from it. It's usually HP restoration along with some other benefits, but I'll get into the details of what those benefits are later. Also, no need to worry about healing after a battle, your party auto-heals. But as you see, a few more tips have popped up. A brand new feature of this version is the ability to review tooltips. I'll go ahead and show it briefly. It's under System. But there's already so much to look at that I'll just go through stuff at my own pace. Yeah, look at the amount of stuff that you can review. Already. Autosaving and achievements, some of the advice that you're given from, like, tutorial pop-ups, the controls, all of that stuff. So this yellow thing right here. Here's a treasure spot marked by a yellow dot on the map. These can contain various items if you interact with them, but sometimes they may be locked. Simply approach a treasure spot and hold A to open it, and see what's inside. And you'll also find items scattered around the environment. Just walk over what look like shining crystals to pick them up. What are these used for? Well, time will tell, won't it? Whenever you see one of these treasure spots, I would go ahead and try to get them. Because you can probably find some pretty cool stuff, like equipment. Mostly credits and, like, other stuff. But, getting back into battles, I'll explain arts a bit more. When selecting an art, you can see what it does below the arts palette, which can be helpful to know for certain strategies. The color of the art icon determines what type it is. Orange are close-range attacks, yellow are ranged attacks, blue arts are auras, which are generally temporary buffs of various kinds, purple are debuffs, and green arts are regular buffs or healing. Some arts also have a small gray icon showing what kind of debuff or reaction they can do to an enemy, such as taunt or topple. Helpful so that you can know at a glance what you want to use. Get into a few battles to familiarize yourself with the combat, like what I'm doing. And occasionally, during battle, as you'll see right here, okay, not this one, but occasionally during battle and when starting a battle, you'll see an orange button prompt appear on screen. Pressing B at the right time means success, and usually means heals for the whole party and can increase your party morale, which is shown as orange bars on the bottom left of the arts palette. The higher the morale, the more frequent these soul challenges are, which means more frequent heals and better overall benefits to hitting these challenges. You can see what those benefits are right after hitting a soul challenge successfully. It pops up below the morale bar. Try to hit the soul challenge on the highlighted ring, as that'll mean a perfect execution and give you better benefits. But yeah, you're seeing how the soul voices and soul challenges work. I unfortunately used all of my arts, and at this stage in the game, cooldowns are extremely long. But there is a way to decrease that. After having gained a couple of arts thanks to fighting a bit, you may have noticed some of them change the weapon you use after they're used. Every character has a ranged and a melee weapon, and can be switched between with X or by using an art that uses that weapon. Melee weapons require being close range, but usually hit harder with each auto attack, and ranged weapons can be used at a safer distance, and has auto attacks that hit more frequently, but deal less damage per hit as a result. As for arts, you can tell what weapon the art uses by looking at the shape of the art. One that looks like it has target reticle ridges means it uses your ranged weapon, and one that looks like it's slashed across uses your melee weapon.
Nice work.
Let's get into another battle real quick. Another thing about arts is that some of them have bonus effects when used under certain circumstances. This can be either based on position or through fulfilling combos, and are now shown via a blue exclamation mark. Position is shown right above your current weapon used. The position relative to the enemy is actually fairly important, and whoever has the high ground generally has an accuracy advantage as well as higher crit chance. Attacking from behind also helps. As for combos, it can mean inflicting topple right after stagger, or using an art that says it has boosted effects during a melee or ranged combo. Just keep an eye out for these chances, and you'll be able to figure out how to best use your repertoire. I'm just going to go ahead and get this treasure right here before moving on. Iron Knife. Brand new weapon. I'm gonna get this. We're almost out of the Starfall Basin. Just a couple more battles to go. There's a couple of Blattas up here. They're very similar to the Origin Blatta we fought first. Let's go ahead and take them down. Slit Edge seems like a very useful attacking art, because it has a very quick cooldown.
I won't give him a second's rest. Did that work? Then move it and strike. Now, my turn. Shadow I'll make him hurt.
Wish I could topple this one. In terms of toppling, though, it's not necessary to stagger first, but it does increase the chances of toppling.
The rain's starting to let up, just in time for sunrise. Follow me. I promise you're gonna love this.
Like I haven't been loving this already?
Pretty wild, huh? They're all indigenous, as far as we can tell. We need to learn to play nice with these guys if we're going to try and coexist together. We call this planet Mira. You won't find it on any star chart. But it's our new home. Recognize the habitat unit? That's where we're headed. Watch yourself. That first step's a doozy. We can jump if you like. You could handle the fall. But the indigents down there are another story. Some big, some mean, all nasty. Given our options, the high road here would be the safer way to go, relatively speaking. That said, whichever way you want to go, I'll follow your lead. You decide.
What an intro to this area. As you may have noticed, some enemies have an aggro type, which are those red icons beside their name. If you don't see any, that means they're non-aggressive and won't attack unless you attack first. Red icons with an eye means they will attack on sight and force you into battle, while the icons with what look like sound waves will attack based on if you wander a bit too close to them. Anyway, since we need to head to the habitat unit, we can actually press in the left stick to start sprinting. There is no stamina regarding this, and you can even jump incredibly high and far while sprinting. So that's very useful indeed. Let's take this high road here, because it is indeed safer. Over here is a rest spot. You can rest at these spots marked with a clock and pass the time to anything you want. Though, with this version of the game, you can actually just change time whenever you want by going to the system menu. But yeah, you can change it by the minute or hour, and yeah, you can just go here. So, the functionality is still there, but this is a lot more convenient. I'm gonna go ahead and get the treasure box over here. Erect trailer. Got a prototype scouter for that, huh? So, as I proceed to head towards the habitat, I'm going to be getting into a few more battles along the way. It's just generally good to be gaining a few levels while you're out before you get to the habitat unit. So, might as well. I can talk about enemy danger levels, though. Enemies are categorized based on their level to yours in different colors of danger. The colors for danger, from low to high, are blue, white, yellow, red, and purple. But just because an enemy may be within safe danger levels doesn't mean they are actually safe. Enemies much larger than you may still prove to be dangerous. These SWIDs are a perfectly fine size and level, so might as well get some practice on these things. Some of them are aggressive after all.
Is that it?
We got him. Let's move.
This Lepix over here, that long four-legged creature, yeah, that might actually be a bit much for you right now.
Lay down some fire for me. Shadow strike. I'll blast it wide open.
Yeah, there we go. Topple his ass.
Then move in and strike. Good enough. Nice work.
Ah, got another art. Infuriate. That basically inflicts taunt on the enemy, which, you know, I'll actually get into just a little bit later. But also, you're given a lot of camera control in this game as well. Just hold L and move the camera stick up or down to zoom. You can even set camera position in the system settings menu. I'm just showing this off real quick. And yeah, just head over to System, Settings, Sound right down here. Oh, Camera. But yeah, you can adjust all sorts of, like, camera position stuff. It's already in, like, what I want, so just switch that over. And if you want to adjust the zoom on your mini-map, hold R and press down on the D-pad. You're given 3 levels of zoom to work with, but if you want a full map, well, just wait a bit longer. But also, if you hold R and press up on the directional pad, you can launch an aerial cam drone to look over the land from a much higher point of view. Regarding aggro icons again, if you see an aggro icon that is spiky, that means that they will join a battle if members of their same species are under attack. Be careful of those wandering about, especially if they're higher leveled. Also, when targeting an enemy, if other enemies nearby also get smaller arrows on them, that means they'll attack in a group. Choose your battles carefully and assess the situation when necessary. Regarding enemy aggro when in battle, aggro determines what character the enemy is currently targeting and can be changed based on damage dealt, how much healing has been done, or through special debuffs such as Infuriate's Taunt, which forces the enemy to target the one who used it. Tanks usually have that kind of debuff, as they're specialized to, well, tank hits.
Is that it? Nice work.
Lots of materials for just a couple of monsters. Or should I just call them indigens? Well, we'll see. Don't forget to collect items, too. Let's go ahead and take this one on.
I'm in the zone. Let's close in and clean up. Now it's my turn.
There we go, come on.
Flame grenade!
Use Flame Grenade to boost damage when toppled. Not sure why I'm not using Slit Edge. There we go.
They're flustered. Knock 'em over with gunfire. Force. The hell?
Use an aura. Get control of
Oh,
Shadow Storm Armor.
Nice hit. Let's see another.
a baby Swid joined unknowingly. That's alright.
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Also, yeah, I think this is the first time I got the battle music to play longer than just like the first few seconds.
Did that work? Then move in and strike.
Get used to this, because it's quite an interesting battle theme, I have to say. Okay, just a little bit of a detour over here. Yeah, see that level 8 enemy right over there? Those are the spiky icons.
Strength comes from experience. That's true on any planet.
I may have already had a pop-up show what those look like, but, you know, just wanted to show one out in the wild, you know? I'm just gonna avoid that tall thing right there. Got dangerously close to a sleeping Simius. But that's fine. He was up on a cliff. I don't think he would have seen me. Let's get into one more battle. We're still only level 4. Would be better to get ourselves closer to Elma's level.
They're flustered. Knock 'em over with gunfire.
Side slash chrome armor.
Slit edge.
Early burn. Infuriate. Slide. Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Yeah? You'll want to see this side flash. The hell?
I'm just showing these battles in full because,
Appendage destroyed.
you know,
Move in and strike. Upper hand.
this kind of gives a better idea on, like, how battles go. Anyway, since we're here, I feel like should get into stats since we're almost at our destination. Let's look at it through the party menu. Not this one. I'm just gonna skip through this. I'm gonna talk about it later. It's the status menu. Character stats are fairly simple. HP is being health points, TP being your current max of tension points, which I'll explain later, Defense is based off of how protective your armor is and directly subtracts that number from how much the enemy's attack is. Defense is kinda garbo in this game as a result, so don't rely on this stat too much. Ranged and melee attack determine your base attack stats, while total attack combines your attack stat with your weapon's attack stats. I said attack a lot. Anyway, accuracy and evasion have to deal with how often attacks land. If your accuracy is higher than the enemy's evasion stat, you'll be more guaranteed to hit. And if it's about even, you start missing, with the chance increasing the lower your stat. As you can guess, the same works with the enemy's accuracy versus your evasion. Potential is interesting. It affects how much you heal from soul voices and how powerful your TP arts are. It also just affects, like, healing in general, not just soul voices. Finally, the resistances are what you should focus on instead of defense, as these cut the amount of damage each of these elements can deal on you based on a percentage. These resistances go up to 100 points, which equals 100%, so you can build up your resistances really high to cut down the damage you take by a ton. Be careful too, though, as you can get negative resistances as well, which means you'll take more damage from that element. I'll get into how you can boost your resistances later. As for that other stuff on the screen, I'll talk about them later. Just need to get here. Alright.
Looks a lot bigger up close, doesn't it? And this was just the habitat unit. The white whale was one hell of a ship. Until it all came crashing down, at least. That's the west gate. It's closed off now for security reasons. But we've repurposed a freight elevator that will get us inside. Grexes. And they're riled. We can't leave them roaming here, not this close to the gate. We're gonna have to take them down. You ready?
Some more indigents we have to take down in order to protect the habitat. That's how it is on this bitch of a planet. They're not tough to take down, fortunately. Easier than regular Grexes, since they're emaciated and clearly looking for food. As for what this tooltip is talking about, arts have a secondary cooldown as well. After an art has finished its cooldown, if you are currently using the weapon that art uses, it'll start to do its secondary cooldown, as you can see with the yellow bar surrounding the art. Once the secondary cooldown is finished, when you use that art, it'll have additional effects depending on the art itself, which can range from being able to use it immediately again, or have higher damage. But yeah, let's just go ahead and take out these enemies. They're really easy. Especially if you've been gaining a couple of levels since then.
You'll want to see this move. Shadow strike. Switch to close range combat. Flame grenade. Light. Scream edge.
And there we go. Elma can do a lot of damage already.
It's a shame we had to settle near so much wildlife. Luckily, some species aren't so hostile, but they aren't necessarily friendly either. I've come to learn that there's a fine line between self-defense and provoking a fight. We need to walk that line. All right, let's head in. Who knows? Maybe seeing the inside will jog your memory.
A fine line between self-defense and provoking a fight. That's definitely going to be a thing that will be hammered into you for... Well, not hammered into you, but it'll be a constant theme in the game. especially when you're doing side quests. But yeah, I'm going to do a few more battles here. But with that taken care of, it's pretty much time to head in.
I'll make him hurt.
I'll just go ahead and take care of these. As you can see from the sunset, nighttime is rapidly approaching.
Move in and do some damage.
Come on, let's get this one done. Okay.
Nice work.
So yeah, at this early stage in the game, we actually aren't allowed to stray too far off the path right now. But after a certain point very early, we'll be given a lot more free reign. And a lot more to do than just discover areas and fight monsters. And open treasure boxes. As I'm approaching the habitat, I do want to mention that there are still some things I want to talk about, but as I've already given you tons of information now, I decided to wait until the times it's more relevant to do so. If you want to enter the city, you'll need to use the elevator at the top of the stairs. They'll probably open the gate soon, thanks to the great work you guys did killing the monsters that were causing all that trouble. But until then, you'll have to forgive the inconvenience, please understand. Got it. I'll try to be reading some of the dialogue. But yeah, after each of these videos, I will also be showing other dialogue choices on an alternate timeline of sorts. So look forward to those. Since I based this character's design somewhat on a Gundam character, can you guess who the other one will be? When they pop up, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and change it to day. I just like the upcoming cutscene better during the daytime. Ah. Kinda bright, but this'll do.
Well, here we are. Not too shabby, huh? For a giant beached spaceship, anyway. But, like it or not, this place is our home now. We took the name from the city it was modeled after back on Earth. We call it New Los Angeles. Welcome to NLA.
And so it was that another survivor came to join our band of refugees. Together, we resolved to forge a new way of life here on Mira, come what may. New LA was our beautiful lie to ourselves. Truth is, we were adrift, heading into the unknown. Our native home was gone, swallowed in a shroud of light. And our future was uncertain. We had no idea what fate lay in store for us. Only that we had to keep living in order to see it.
How are your limbs? Can you move? We'll take it easy while you shake the stasis out of your system. One step at a time, all right? First things first. There's plenty of work back in the city for someone who knows how to handle a weapon, you know. Hey, I'm not trying to pressure you into anything, all right? It'll be your decision in the end. But anyway, we can talk more details later. For now, let's keep moving.